We're live right now, apparently.
Hey,
How are you?
Good.
So where's your iPhone? You have it?
I do have it. It's
Okay.
right in my pocket here. So, you know, initially, I think, obviously when you look at it, at first, it doesn't look a whole lot different than the old iPhone.
Right. It feels a little different.
It does feel different because they've tapered the sides,
Uh-huh,
right?
yeah.
So it does sort of feel in your hand is a little
Right.
bit different. And the other thing, I guess, which you notice kind of right away is this apps store application.
Yes.
Now, what is that exactly? You don't have to have the new iPhone for that. Right?
No, in fact, I broke into mine last night because the software was released a bit early. So I was able, with my old iPhone, to get the App Store, and I downloaded things like Sudoku and New York Times and the MLB baseball and all of that stuff. I was also very excited about Miss Pac-Man, which I think is a little expensive. It's $9 for Miss Pac-Man.
Okay, and Super Monkey Ball looks like a pretty cool
Yeah.
thing too. They've got chat, like AIM chat.
Right. I played Super Monkey Ball yesterday. I was rubbish at it. I'm going to have a really big learning
You're being
curve.
too hard on yourself.
No, I fell off the stage every time. So, but I think the point is that now you can do whatever you want with this. Because originally when the iPhone came out and it was just what Apple said was going to go on it, I mean, think about if the Macs were like that. We never would use Macs if that's sort of the way the operating system is. Is that what you think?
Yeah, and it obviously it also made a lot of people go out and unlock their phone and try and get these applications on their own, rather than following Apple's lead on all these things, right? So, and I guess the other thing too about some of the games is it's really tapping into the tilt feature of the phone, right, with Super Monkey Ball? Yeah,
so it becomes a little bit more like a Wii, actually, like the Wiimote, because it actually interacts with you. So I really like that aspect of it. So I think we're going to see some cool things come out.
What about, let's talk about the GPS part of that, because I think for a lot of people that's a pretty cool feature. They're going to include some navigation apps too, so you can see where all your friends are. I think geo microblogging, so you can tell your friends exactly where you are all the time.
Right, so there's Looped, which when I first heard about Looped about a year ago, it only ran on Sprint, and I thought, stalker, right? Because I don't really want anyone to know where I am, but you know, I guess it's helpful if maybe you and my sister or my mother or my whatever, you know, that you can say, okay, now I don't have to call you and say, where are you? I'm waiting for you at the coffee shop. At least I would know, okay, they're on their way. So that location-based software is kind of neat. It's kind of like, I always joke that it's like a Marauder's map on Harry Potter.
Right,
yeah.
exactly. And it does actually make the price a lot more attractive for people. Because now you're including a true GPS device for $200, and that's really not a bad deal.
Right, yeah. So I believe we have a guest who's going to come and talk to us about, this is Ed Baig from USA Today. How are you?
How are you? Thanks for joining us.
So, go ahead.
You've had it for a little while, right?
Yeah, it's a couple of weeks.
Okay. And what are your thoughts on it?
I'm mostly positive. There are some issues. You know, battery, we'll see. The GPS, the 3G network, shaky in some areas, but overall I'm really positive on the device. It's faster, cheaper, at least on the hardware side. Service, of course, is a little higher.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Now, with the battery issue, I mean, that's something that we just haven't had a chance to try out because we've only had it for minutes.
An hour,
really,
yeah.
So, I mean, is it the video that's draining it the most? Is that really the biggest problem?
Well, I think 3G certainly hogs more power. Wi-Fi, if you've got that on, will hog some power. I start getting low battery warnings towards the end of the workday. So if you can charge it up anywhere along the way, that would help. I also am now starting to play with the apps, and some of them are very addictive. So again, we'll see how quickly they drain the battery.
Right.
Think about turning off 3G. You think, well, isn't that what you want? Well, you don't need it all the time. So.
Right.
Yeah, and you know, with my MacBook, if I leave it plugged in all the time, the battery life just starts to get lower and lower. So is it going to be something like that where if you leave it plugged in every day, then the battery life is just going to get worse and worse?
Well, that's always
a concern.
It is a concern, and obviously we haven't had these long enough to test that out. And of course, one of the downsides of this is it's not a removable battery. You would have to take it in to get it serviced, and that's been a knock on obviously the iPod and the previous version of the iPhone. So time will tell on that. I think that will be an issue.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the 3G network, because when Steve Jobs unveiled this in San Francisco at the Worldwide Developers Conference, he did quite a dramatic demonstration showing the download times for the sites, and it was almost in some cases twice as fast. I mean, is that really what you're finding?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, I tested a bunch of sites, popular sites, and almost always at least twice as fast, sometimes even faster. I think in one case it was 3 times as fast. Every so often, if it was not a graphics-heavy site, you wouldn't see a big difference.
Yeah.
But consistently, it was at least twice as fast, and often at least a half a minute faster than than the older iPhone.
Yeah.
Now, what about for business people? I mean, that's one knock that's come against Apple with the iPhone. Sure, it's a cool gadget. People love to show it off. But corporations have been really slow to adopt it. But they've actually included some new features that are trying to impress enterprise.
Absolutely. They're now, I guess, competing against BlackBerry. I've been using it for my corporate email, contacts, calendar. Works fine. They put in a bunch of security. You know, companies can even customize some software for it. It seems to be working actually quite nicely so far. And I know my company and a bunch of others have started to embrace it and now are presenting it as an alternative to the BlackBerries and the Trios of the world.
And maybe you can tell us a little about the remote wipe too, if you lose it. I think that's kind of a big deal because people lose their phones.
Yes, unfortunately I've lost a few things over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah, your tech department can remotely wipe it if you lose it, it's stolen, or I say you change jobs and you're no longer privy to the corporate secrets. That can be done remotely. Obviously, I haven't tested that, but the tech people do have that power to do that.
Right.
If both of you could look into your crystal ball, what's Apple going to do with the? I know we were just about to have the iPhone 3G, but what do you see on the horizon for the next generation?
Well, 4G, the even faster network. There are still issues. I'd love to see a device, and of course we don't know if Apple will come out with it. Let's say a memory card slot.
Yes.
Or, video. There's certainly areas for improvement here.
What about, say, the camera? You've talked about a couple of devices earlier that's got a 3.2 megapixel camera.
I was hoping for a better camera. I was also hoping for video capture. So I think that that's something that they will start to include in the next generation model. So, and also multimedia messaging, I think, is a pretty simple fix, which may even be a firmware upgrade.
Well, that's it. Even little things like a video recorder weren't there, but guess what? There are a bunch of apps that do it. So I think a lot of this third parties will be able to handle. Some things will require some hardware down the road.
So is the App Store really the sort of killer app when it comes to the iPhone 3G? It's sort of turning it into this Trojan horse in a sense?
Right, and I think what you recommended is because the App Store is so great, if you have an existing iPhone, it may not be worth going and killing yourself for the new one, right?
Well, that's right. And I think that it's important to remember that the 2.0 software really incorporates a lot of this stuff. You don't get 3G, you don't need it all the time, and you don't get GPS quite. Again, you don't need it all the time. So the apps are a big deal. I agree that it's potentially the real killer app. Some of them are a lot of fun. Some of them are silly. There's one that I just downloaded that turns it into a flashlight. Well,
I've seen the one that turns it into a lightsaber. I have to say that.
I saw that. I haven't downloaded that one yet. I saw that. The one I've heard about, but I haven't found it yet, is apparently it will help you find your parking spot. I don't.
Right.
I'm looking for the one that will do the dishes.
Same. Can it also turn into a Roomba? That would be great. Get it to run around and sweep the floor. Yeah. Well, thank you for coming and talking to us.
Yes, thanks so much, Ed.
So I think we're going to have Maggie come and talk to us next. Okay. This is Maggie Reardon from CNET.
Hi. Maggie.
She covers enterprise and phones and all of this stuff. So have you gotten your hands on an iPhone yet?
I haven't gotten my hands on it.
You want to hold mine?
Oh my
gosh. They may come tackle you, but
iPhones.
What do you think?
Oh, it's very
What's your initial, when you first hold it, does it feel a little different to you?
Yeah, it feels lighter, it's slim, it feels good,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are going to love it.
What's the biggest appeal for you with the latest iPhone? Is it the faster data network? Is it the GPS? Is it the apps?
I think it's the faster data network, but it's also the fact that you can get your work email on it, because I think that's a really great advantage, and something that the other phone didn't do, and I think kept a lot of people away. A lot of people like me, for example.
And I guess that's the case too. If you've got an older iPhone, you can still get the newer software and get your Microsoft email, Outlook email.
What are some security concerns then? Because I had someone write me last night and said, I'm the head of my IT department and our company has decided we're not supporting iPhone. So have you heard that, or what do you think the concerns are around that?
I'm not sure if it's so much security as I know probably a lot of IT folks are not happy about that everybody has to have iTunes running on their desktop. Right? That's probably not such a great thing. And it's just another thing to support for a lot of IT guys, and that's probably not something that they really are looking forward to doing. And the other problem too that I think is going to kind of hold back the iPhone from really taking off in a company is the fact that right now I think they're only selling like two to a business, for example. So it's not something that they can roll out in mass like they can with, say, a BlackBerry or something like that.
Yeah.
And one thing we haven't touched on is the storage space. It has gone up to 8 gigabyte and 16.
And the 16, is that what I've got here? Yeah. I have the 16. So remember last year they had 4. That seems like nothing now.
Right.
Obsolete, right?
And I was talking to people at an AT&T store up on the Upper West Side, and most of the people I was talking to standing in line wanted the 16 gig phone. So I don't know what that means. I heard, at that particular store there were going to be 20 iPhones there, and there were there's 60 iPhones total and maybe only 20 that are 16 gigs. So I don't know if they're all going to be able to get them.
Wow, that's a good point.
But certainly not today.
Yeah, right, with the lines.
I asked Apple actually many times if they're going to sell out or how many they have, and they're not telling me. They're very tight-lipped about it. So hopefully they have enough for everyone that's around the block here. So
there are a lot of folks trying to get in front of the line.
Yeah.
How many minutes away are we here?
Yeah, we're going to head to CNET Live in San Francisco in about 5 minutes. But it looks like the madness is starting to peak. Everyone's on their tiptoes and getting ready to run in here.
It's reminding me of about a year ago with the original iPhone. Yeah. Same sort of folks out here. Now, Maggie, what would you like to see in the next generation iPhone? What is this one lacking, in other words?
Well, this one, it's lacking the multimedia messaging. Not that I'm a big multimedia messaging person, but if somebody sends you a picture, you can't read it, you can't accept it, and I think that's a big problem because the people who have the iPhone, they're tech savvy.
Right, and they're taking pictures and they want to...
They're taking pictures and it's got a great camera and, they don't necessarily want to email it to their friends because maybe people don't have email on their phone. So I think that was a big missing piece of the puzzle. I don't know if you agree, Natali.
Yeah, that definitely is. And I've also gotten a lot of questions about the plan. Have you talked to AT&T much about the plan? Because I think a lot of people are very concerned about the family plan, because they're not able to go in and really activate together because Apple's doing it all for them as individuals. Do you think they've thought that far in advance?
I can't really speak for AT&T, but it does seem like it's a bit of a moving target.
Because you do need to go into the store to activate your phone. You can't do it from your computer, which you could do with the original.
Right.
It's very similar to how AT&T activates all their other phones. Of course, they do that in their stores, but even I think if some models of phones that you buy at a Best Buy or something, it's still activated in the store, and that's really to prevent people from buying the phone, selling it, unlocking it. They really want those customers to be on the AT&T network if it's sold here in the U.S.
Yeah. And I think one other question that we're all looking is it going to run Flash? Because I can't get onto any Flash websites. And I was really hoping this generation would. So anyway, we're going to send it back to San Francisco and see if they can get those answers to Tom and Brian Foley in San Francisco.